Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you think you know Kelly Clarkson, think again. The pop queen just dropped a list that's making the internet explode. Her top 3 albums of all time. But wait until you hear which ones made it and what she said about people who don't agree. Stick around because by the end of this video, there's a jaw-dropping twist about one of those albums that no one saw coming. The camera fades into a studio backdrop with Kelly Clarkson's smile lighting up the room. Known for her powerhouse voice and genuine charm, Kelly has built a career on authenticity. From winning American Idol 2 decades ago to hosting her hit daytime show, The Kelly Clarkson Show, she's become one of the most loved and relatable celebrities in the industry. But recently, Kelly decided to stir things up. And not with a new single or viral duet, but with something far more personal, her all-time favorite albums list. It all began during a candid moment on her show. In between segments of laughter, heartfelt stories, and live music, Kelly dropped the question to her audience. What's your all-time favorite album? A few fans shouted out names, from Taylor Swift to the Beatles, but then Kelly leaned forward and said, "Okay, now let's be honest. If you don't like this one, you're an idiot." The crowd gasped, then erupted in laughter. Kelly smirked, clearly knowing the storm she'd just unleashed. But she wasn't joking entirely. She meant every word. Kelly explained that music, to her, isn't just sound. It's storytelling. And the albums she chose weren't just about hits or fame. They were albums that changed how she felt about music, art, and even herself. And the first album on her list? A total classic. One that left fans both cheering and debating online. She started with Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. Kelly described it as a lyrical gut punch wrapped in guitar strings. She said she discovered it as a teenager when she was trying to understand her own emotions and identity. Alanis was angry, raw, vulnerable, and unapologetically herself. That's exactly what I wanted to be. Every track felt like a therapy session. Kelly even revealed that Jagged Little Pill played a big role in shaping her own music. When I recorded Since You've Been Gone, I literally wanted it to feel like something Alanis would scream from a rooftop. But the real twist came when she admitted something few knew, that she almost didn't pursue pop music at all after listening to that album. I thought, if music's not that real, then what's the point? I wanted to write, not perform. That album nearly changed my career path before it even began. She paused, letting the audience absorb that. Then, with her trademark smile, she teased, "But don't worry, I came back around. And thank God I did, or I wouldn't be here talking to y'all." The audience laughed, but the energy was electric. And then she moved on to her second pick, one that no one saw coming. "Okay, the second album," Kelly said, leaning back in her chair. "Some of y'all might think I'm crazy, but I don't care. It's Thriller by Michael Jackson." A collective "whoa" filled the studio. Kelly nodded. Yes, the king of pop himself. You can't talk about albums without mentioning Thriller. That record defined an era. It wasn't just an album. It was an event. She explained how the songs weren't just chart toppers, but cultural shifts. Every track told a story, and every beat made history. I mean, how do you even compete with that? You don't. But here's where it got spicy. Kelly said, "If someone tells me they don't like Thriller, I'm sorry, but they're lying. Or they have terrible taste. Like, who doesn't like Thriller? That album has Billie Jean, Beat It, Human Nature. It's practically the DNA of modern pop." The audience roared with laughter again, but Kelly's delivery was pure confidence. She even added, "And if you say it's overrated, I just assume you've never danced at a wedding." But then she leaned in with a serious tone and revealed a memory that left everyone silent for a moment. Kelly said that one of her earliest memories of performing came when she was only 9 years old, singing Human Nature in front of her church group. "It wasn't exactly the right venue for Michael Jackson," she laughed, "but that song taught me how to sing with emotion, not just power." And that's when the conversation shifted again, because her third pick was not what anyone expected. Kelly took a deep breath and smiled knowingly. "Now this might shock some people. My third favorite album of all time is 21 by Adele." The crowd erupted into applause. And a few gasps. Kelly nodded proudly. "Yes, I said it. Adele. She's a once-in-a-generation voice. That album, it's pure heartbreak, but in the most beautiful way." Kelly went on to describe how 21 helped her through one of the most painful times in her life. When I was going through my divorce, I listened to 21 on repeat. I felt like Adele was sitting next to me, telling me it's okay to fall apart. That album gave me permission to feel broken. She even confessed that one song in particular, Someone Like You, hit too close to home. I remember playing that song in my car, crying at a stoplight, and then realizing the guy next to me was crying too. I'm not even joking. Adele united us in misery that day. The audience laughed again, but it was clear Kelly's honesty struck a chord. But then came the twist that sent fans online into a frenzy. Kelly said that Adele's 21 was actually the inspiration behind her own breakup record, Chemistry. Yeah, Kelly admitted, I wasn't planning on making a breakup album. But after hearing Adele's 21 again, I thought, maybe this pain can help someone else too. And that's how Chemistry happened. This revelation hit hard. Fans immediately flooded social media, calling Kelly's confession the full circle moment we didn't know we needed. Others pointed out how fitting it was that Adele's heartbreak inspired Kelly's. Two powerhouse vocalists connected through raw emotion. But Kelly wasn't done. She leaned back, smiled mischievously, and said, I'll say this. If you don't like 21, you're probably emotionally unavailable. The studio exploded with laughter again. The audience clapped, cheered, and even a few fans shouted preach. But then Kelly revealed something else, something that made this list even more intriguing. She confessed that one of these albums almost didn't make the list. I debated replacing Thriller with Purple Rain by Prince, she said. Because, let's be honest, that album's a masterpiece. But I had to go with the one that changed the world, not just my playlist. She smiled, shrugging. Maybe I'll save Prince for my top 5 list. And as the laughter subsided, Kelly reflected on what music truly means to her. I don't pick albums based on perfection. I pick them based on honesty. Alanis, Michael, Adele, they all gave the world something real. And that's the kind of artist I've always wanted to be. But just as the segment was wrapping up, Kelly's band started playing a familiar tune, the opening chords of You Oughta Know. Kelly grinned and said, Okay, now you're just trying to make me cry. The audience erupted in cheers as she sang a few lines live, channeling her inner Alanis. It was raw, powerful, and totally unscripted. But then, just as she finished, her producer whispered something in her ear. Kelly paused, then looked at the crowd and said, Wait, are you serious? The room went silent. She laughed nervously, then explained. Okay, so apparently Alanis Morissette is actually backstage right now. The audience screamed. Kelly stood up, half shocked, half laughing. No way. You're lying. And then, as if scripted by fate, Alanis walked out onto the stage, smiling. The two hugged, both visibly emotional. Kelly said, This woman changed my life, y'all. You don't understand. Alanis smiled and replied, Kelly, I think you've done pretty well yourself. It was one of those moments that didn't need a script. Two icons, 2 generations of powerhouse women, united by the music that started it all. The crowd gave them a standing ovation as they sang a short duet together, Kelly's voice blending perfectly with Alanis's. When it ended, Kelly turned to her audience and said, See, this is why music matters. It brings everything full circle. Later that day, social media went wild. Hashtags like hashtag Kelly meets Alanis and hashtag top 3 albums trended for hours. Fans debated her list, argued about their own picks, and praised her for saying what so many people think but never say out loud. Some fans agreed with every choice. Others said they'd swap out Adele for Beyoncé's Lemonade, or Thriller for the Beatles' Abbey Road. But everyone agreed on one thing. Kelly Clarkson knows music. And the more people talked, the more one detail stood out. The courage it took for Kelly to name her influences so boldly, especially in an era where artists are often afraid of comparisons. But Kelly wasn't competing. She was celebrating. In a follow-up segment the next day, Kelly laughed about the viral reaction. I didn't think people would freak out this much, she said. I just love good music. But if I've learned anything from this, it's that people take their playlists very seriously. She grinned, adding, I might have to do a worst albums of all time list next. That'll really start a fire. Her audience gasped and laughed. Don't tempt me, she teased. Behind the humor, though, was a deeper message, one that Kelly has carried throughout her career. She's never been afraid to speak her truth, even when it ruffles feathers. Whether it's calling out an ex, challenging the industry, or calling someone an idiot for not liking Thriller, Kelly Clarkson does it all with heart and humor. And that's what makes her more than just a singer. She's a storyteller, a truth teller, and a fan of music in its purest form. By the end of the show, Kelly wrapped up her thoughts with something simple but powerful. Music is supposed to make you feel something. It doesn't matter if it's rock, pop, or country. If it moves you, it matters. And if you don't like it, well, you heard what I said earlier. The crowd laughed, cheered, and gave her a standing ovation. As the credits rolled, you could see Kelly still smiling, a woman who built a life on music and still believes in its power to connect, to heal, and to spark conversation. And that's exactly what her top 3 albums of all time did. Wow, what a story. From Jagged Little Pill to Thriller to 21, Kelly Clarkson just reminded us why she's one of the realest voices in the business. Not just for her music, but for her honesty. And that surprise Alanis Morissette cameo? Absolute perfection. Which of Kelly's top 3 do you agree with? Or do you think she left one out? Drop your picks in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because the next twist in Hollywood could drop any moment, and you don't want to miss it. This is Starbuzz Daily, and we'll see you in the next story.